Recently, I was at an event with our pastor and our church, and it was like a vision event. It was a backyard vision event. We were going over survey results from the church, and he was sharing kind of where we're at, where we're headed, and that sort of thing, which I find extremely interesting as a former pastor and as someone who's very interested in leadership. He said something in the context of that about how the staff had been talking about if we should rebrand the church. The church is called Prodigal Church. Prodigal, if you're not aware of the story, is about, it's a parable of Jesus. He talks about a son that leaves his father. He demands his share of the estate. He essentially divorces his family and takes the wealth that was going to be given to him at his father's death, basically saying, I wish you were dead, give me the money, and goes off, squanders it all, and comes back crawling to his dad. And his dad finds him, on his way back to him, throws open his arms, gives him a robe, which was like a signal of, you're my son, I love you. He gave him a signet ring, all the things. He welcomed him back into the family. So the story is really about extreme grace and that God loves you, okay? And then there's an older brother who's upset with the situation because it's like he just messed everything up, and how could you welcome him back? And so our church is really about loving those who are like the older brother and like the younger brother, the ones that have squandered their life away and are now seeking a relationship with God, and the one who's sort of always been there but is kind of upset that the younger brother went out and had all the fun and is now coming back. And our church is trying to serve the religious and irreligious equally, right? And trying to help them grow in their faith and their relationship with God. So some of you are like, I don't know why I'm even watching this. I'm not even a faith person. But I'm just telling you this because there's a business principle on the back end of this. So I love that parable. I think it's a great thing to brand the church after, essentially kind of expressing the heart of the church. But at that event, I was like, oh no, why would you rebrand? To me, that's crazy. To him though, he's been living in that message, and the staff has been thinking from the viewpoint of that message for a long time. And so the story and the name might start to feel a little bland or a little old, So that's kind of where they're coming from. That maybe it's time to rebrand. Maybe that's kind of run its course. And then the following Sunday was an anniversary Sunday, and so he expressed and told that parable again with fresh eyes and fresh enthusiasm. And I just sat there thinking, man, you're communicating this so passionately, maybe even more passionately than most of the other messages that we hear, which happens, because you just have something in you. And so after the service, I went up to him and I said, hey man, that was awesome. I loved it. And I was thinking about how you said maybe it's time to rebrand, but I think based on what I've seen today, that anytime we're tempted to rebrand, we should retell. Anytime we're tempted to rebrand what we are, who we are, what we're about, we should retell what we are, who we are, what we're about. And that hit him. So I wrote an article about this, sent it out an email a bit ago. If you'd like to get those emails, I send them out every Monday. Usually have a business principle or a way that you can utilize your EA more effectively, efficiently, or a life lesson sort of illustration. And I'm really trying to help you in your leadership and maximize your investment in your executive assistant. So if you want to get that, you can certainly go to mfoster.link/how/to/start. And you will also get a free PDF download for signing up. I'll put the link below. But really what I wanted to let you know is that sometimes when you're tempted to start over, you're tempted to scrap a name, you're tempted to scrap a project, I want you to step back and evaluate, is this really what I need to do? Do I need to rebrand and you change course? Or do I need to retell? Do I need to double up on this? Do I need to commit further to this idea and to this project? And there are certainly times for both. But there's got to be a time where you actually think through that. Don't just make an emotional decision in a moment. Step back, evaluate. Should I rebrand or retell? I think more often than not, you should just retell. God bless. I'll see you in the next one.